A normal American town that's been burning for decades. A lake that collapsed into a massive whirlpool. And a dollar bill that hasn't changed in over 60 years. These sound fake, but they're all real. And every one of them happened in the United States. Let's start with the one that's still on fire. There's a town called Centralia. On the surface, it looks like any other small American town. Quiet streets, empty roads, nothing unusual at first glance. But underneath it, the ground has been burning since 1962. It began when a fire was lit near an old coal mine. The plan was simple: burn trash, put the fire out, and move on. They didn't realize the fire had slipped into abandoned coal tunnels. Coal burns slowly, and once it's underground, it's almost impossible to reach. The fire moved through miles of coal seams, feeding itself year after year. Every attempt to stop it failed. Digging it out was too expensive. Flooding it didn't work. Sealing it only redirected the fire elsewhere. As the fire spread, poisonous gases began leaking into the town. Carbon monoxide filled homes. The ground cracked open. Sinkholes appeared without warning. In 1981, a 12-year-old boy nearly died when the ground collapsed beneath him. At its peak, more than 1,000 people lived in Centralia. Families were forced to leave their homes. Streets were abandoned. Businesses closed. The government eventually relocated almost everyone. Today, fewer than 5 residents remain. Most buildings are gone. The town no longer has its own zip code. But the fire beneath Centralia is still burning. Experts believe the fire could continue for another 200 years. Centralia isn't abandoned because people left. It's abandoned because the ground never stopped burning. Now let's look at something far more ordinary. Something almost everyone has held before. A single US $1 bill. It doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't look mysterious. But its history is stranger than it seems. The design of the US $1 bill has barely changed since 1963. More than 60 years. While technology advanced, and security threats increased, the $1 bill stayed almost exactly the same. Other US bills were redesigned multiple times. The $5, $10, $20, and $100 bills all received new security features. Color changes, watermarks, security strips. But the $1 bill? It was left behind. At first, that doesn't make sense. The $1 bill is the most commonly used bill in the country. It changes hands more than any other. If any bill needed better security, you'd expect it to be this one. So why hasn't it changed? Because redesigning it would cost billions of dollars. Every vending machine, every cash register, every ATM, all of them would need to be updated, and the cost outweighed the benefit. So instead of evolving, the $1 bill became frozen in time. The same symbols, the same layout, the same design, while the world changed around it. The most common bill in the United States is also the most outdated, and almost no one notices, because it's always been there. The strangest secrets aren't always hidden underground. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight. Now let's talk about a lake in the United States that didn't just drain. It collapsed, and for a brief moment, it turned into a massive whirlpool. In Louisiana, there was a freshwater lake called Lake Peigneur. It was calm, used for fishing, surrounded by land. There was nothing unusual about it, until one day, the lake started moving. Beneath the lake was a massive underground salt mine, and above it, an oil drilling operation. In 1980, drillers accidentally drilled into the roof of the mine. They didn't know it at first, but the damage had already been done. The lake began to drain. Water rushed downward, straight into the mine. As the mine flooded, the ground collapsed. The lake didn't just empty, it reversed. A massive whirlpool formed at the center of the lake. Trees were pulled in, boats were dragged underwater, even barges were swallowed. All of it disappeared into the mine. The lake dropped more than 400 feet. It went from a freshwater lake to a deep saltwater crater. A nearby canal reversed direction and flowed backward into the sinkhole. No one was killed, but the landscape was permanently changed. A normal U.S. lake was erased in hours. All because of one drilling mistake. Some U.S. stories are hiding in plain sight.